What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Laughing Coyote, and this is a different kind of video. So there's a lot of talk online about the next cricket game by Bigant, Cricket 21 we're assuming it's going to be, because we're in 2021 already. It can't be Cricket 20 anymore. Maybe it'll be Cricket 22. The reason why the speculations are leading towards, and I think this as well, leading towards Cricket 21 rather than 22 is because Ashes is supposedly, well, it's proposed that it's going to start towards the end of 21, and normally that's sort of when they release the game, Bigant. The reason why I'm a little, hesitant about the Cricket 21, maybe it will be Cricket 22, is because, well, Corona, that's it. It's put a clog in pretty much everything. It stopped everything. Offices are closed. I mean, even schools are closed. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of contingency plans Bigant had. And now we've learned that Bigant has been acquired by another company, as well as a French company. So I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how much the French are interested in cricket. I mean, I'm sure they're going to work a lot on the tennis game because the French love the tennis. There's a lot of questions to be asked, a lot of uncertainty going on. We are in the corridor of uncertainty, just outside of off stump. If there is a Cricket 21, here's what some of the things that I would like them to put in that game. Do let me know if you agree with some of the suggestions I'm going to give, or disagree with them, and also add some more to it. Some of the things that I could just think of over the top of my head. Now, the biggest thing, we're going to start off with the biggest thing in the game, which is career mode, right? No other cricket game has a career mode. It's the only one that has it. So player career mode is pretty decent. You start off with at club level, you make your way up to international level, and you become captain, and you go to franchise leagues, T20 leagues along the way as well. And that's great. That is just fantastic, right? It's pretty fun to play, but it's getting a bit boring now. That's been in the game for what, four games now? DBC 14, then 17, then Ashes Cricket, and now Cricket 19. Yeah, that's 4 games. It's been the exact same thing. Nothing has changed about it. It's time to bring a bit of innovation into that. And I think one way you can do that is, how when you become a captain, you only get, the duties that you get is, when the game starts, you get to select the team, the starting 11, and then you get to select who opens the batting and, change the order, batting order, bowling order, change the field set. All that is great, but I think it can be improved, and the way to improve is to add a couple extra features. So ask the bowlers to be aggressive, ask the bowlers to bowl on the leg side, ask the bowler to bowl on the off side, ask the bowler to bowl full, bowl short, stuff like that. Because here's the biggest problem I have as a captain in Cricket 19. I'm the captain, I have a field set, right? Now, obviously it's a game, there's no way for me to talk to the bowler, so I have to come up with the field set all on my own. In real life, that's not how it is. You talk to the bowler, and you come up with a plan together. Since the control is entirely in my hand and my hand alone, then you have to give me control of the bowler as well. I set a field, let's say it's leg side heavy. I've got 2-3 fielders on the rope on the leg side, and the bowler keeps bowling on the offside, and he keeps getting smashed on the offside for 4 every single time. I need to have the option to tell the bowler, you muppet, you need to bowl on the leg side. We've got coverage on the leg side, not on the offside, so bowl on his legs. Similarly, I need to have an option asking him to bowl short, bowl full, bowl good length, in swingers, out swingers. Give me a little bit of control, right? This is what this bowler is going to do. That's what that bowler is going to do. Do this to this batsman. Do this to that batsman, right? Because you have 2 batsmen batting at the same time. So there needs to be some sort of a communication between captain and bowler. And same thing goes for batting. There needs to be some sort of a, tell the batsman in a test game, right? You tell the batsman, all right, you've got 10 overs. After that, we're going to declare the innings, so score as many runs, speed up or slow down, take it easy. We're going to go for a draw or we're going to go for a win, those sort of tactics. That's for the batting side, in test, that is. Similarly, in ODIs and limited overs, you can give a projection of what you think will be a good total, so what you should be aiming for. You can give them a run rate, like, okay, we're going to go at 10 and over, or we're going to score 160, or we're going to score 200, or we're going to try to score 250, or whatever. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but as an example. But the idea is you set a total and you tell your batsman, this is what we're going for. Or if you're bowling first, you set a total and you tell your bowlers, we're not going to go over this. Or you say, all right, I need at least 5 wickets from you, right? The whole team I'm talking about, not just one bowler. So a way to basically communicate with your team. Then there should be, I think there should be a money system. So when you sign for a team, there should be a bit of negotiations, and there should be cutscenes like press conferences and stuff, so you can say good stuff about the opponent, good stuff about your own guys, or bad stuff about your own guys or the opponents, and then they'll work in the favor of their confidence and judgment and stuff like that. That stuff is already in the game. Confidence levels are already in the game. You guys know this, right? So instead of just starting with low confidence every single game, what you can do is you can use form, which is in the last game, if you performed well, in the next game you should start off with higher confidence level. Or in the press conference, if me, the captain, let's say I'm the captain of England, I'm wearing England's shirt right now. Let's say I'm the captain of England, and I say that Jofra Archer was fantastic in the last game and he was a game changer or whatever, right? There's an option to praise Jofra Archer, let's say. Jofra Archer then starts the next game with high confidence. Things like that. I think that would really improve the game, and I think there will be more cutscenes, because if you look at AO Tennis 2, in that career mode, there are cutscenes, so you can be expected to see those cutscenes also in Cricket 21. Salaries, right? You should be making money. You should be able to negotiate with the T20 franchise sides. You should be able to negotiate with the national sides, and all of that should then lead to you making money and then taking that money and doing something with it. So it shouldn't be like FIFA, because in FIFA, if you're a player, you make money, yeah, but you aren't doing anything with that money, right? There should be something. A store where you can buy shoes or bats or balls or guards or whatever, and that gives you boosts. So in NBA 2K 21, I guess I'll say, I haven't played 21, I've played 20, and in that you could buy these sleeves and, you know, shoes and bracelets and stuff, and they would give you boosts, a little boost, like +1 to strength or +1 to stamina, or you know, stuff like that. And you use your money that you make when playing the game, bonuses when you get the man of the match, or if you had a 6 or this and that, you know, there should be targets like that. How there are objectives currently. Instead of the XP, you'll get money, and then you'll take that money and you'll buy perks with it, or you'll buy boosts and stuff like that. I think that will be a great addition to the player career mode. Now, speaking of the player career mode, I would like to see a Wicketkeeper career mode in there as well, because currently you can be a Wicketkeeper, but it's kind of useless, honestly, because one, you don't have control over the keeping. I mean, you just get the thing where you have to put like the button inside the circle and press the button, which is kind of stupid and it doesn't work half the time, honestly. But other than that, you don't have the option to manually dive, right? And diving is a very important part of wicket keeping. So that should be an option that should be added to it, and there should be more, you know, a sort of separate career mode for wicket keepers, because wicket keeping is very different from every other role. Now, another thing I would like to add to the player career mode is I'm talking about influence in terms of tactics and all that, but also in terms of selection. So at the moment, you're given a pool of players and you pick from those, right? Your starting 11. I'm talking about having access to pretty much every single player that is in the game that belongs to a certain team. Let's say I'm playing for England. We'll take the England example again. So I have access to every single England team, and I can pick 20, 16, 20, however many players, right? And then from those, then I make another 11, starting 11. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not players given to me, and then I make a starting 11 from them, but I pick the players that are supposed to be given to me, and then from those, I make another starting 11. And that will work with, like, let's say max 3 players, because I'm not the selector, right? I'm just the captain, so obviously I can't take over the role of a selector. But what I can do is that influence meter. So the higher the influence, the more players you can bring in, the lower the influence. So you could do like 1 player, 2 player, maximum I would say 5 players, because you don't want more than that, because then you're basically a selector. It's a different role, right? So you don't want that role, but you do want some sort of influence, telling the selector. Hey, look, this player looks pretty promising. Look at his stats. He's looking good. His rating's good as well. I would like to have him in the side. So that would be something really interesting, you know, if when you first join the team, the influence meter is at just at one player, or actually no players, because they don't really know you. You don't have that relationship. The better you play, the more you build that relationship, the more you speak in favor of the management in the press conferences that I spoke about earlier. The higher the influence is, and the higher the influence goes, the more players you're able to bring into the side. And if it's a T20 franchise league, then obviously it's free for all. So you then are not looking at just English players, but you're looking at all the players ever, and you're telling the owners, all right, this player would be nice to have, that player, and stuff like that, you know, sort of manipulate a bit the team selections or the draft or auctions or whatever is going on. Now then, let's expand a bit further on the career mode. So that was the player career mode. I would love to see a team career mode where you take on a team, and you can obviously move around. You're basically a manager or a head coach or whatever you want to call it, just like in FIFA. And you take control of a club, and then you go to the T20 franchise, and then one day, if you do well enough, you'll get a national team as well, an offer from a national team, and you accept, and then you deal with them. And again, all these things should be in there. There should be training drills for each player. You should select a certain training drill. So like if a player stat, you see that his strength stat, let's say, is really low, everything else is pretty good, then you should be able to make drills where his strength will go up with those drills, stuff like that. You can do that in FIFA. If you play FIFA, you'd know what I'm talking about. So that's career mode done. I'm going to talk about licenses now. A lot of people want licenses. They want 100% all the teams licensed, and while that has benefits, you do get, you know, the real kits, the bats, the player faces, likenesses. I just punched my mic, the grounds and stuff like that. And while I would love that, you have to take that with a grain of salt. Here's the thing. Let's talk about just the international teams. You've got two teams that are licensed, England and Australia, right? Now, which two teams in the whole game are outdated? You guessed it. It's the two licensed side. It's England and Australia. Every other team has latest kits, has latest players, have latest ratings, have latest stadiums. The only two teams that don't have that are the licensed teams. So why is that? Because we're unable to edit them, and Bigant is not updating them. So you have two choices here with the licensing. Either get more licensing, but have live updates. So whenever they change their kits or a player changes their appearance, you change the player with an update. Or give us, the community, the ability to edit any player, licensed or not, change their bats or whatever, their features, hair, you know, facial hair, all of that. And also change the kits of the teams. That way, we can have updated kits and stuff. I know licensing is very tricky, so if you just give us the ability to edit instead of you doing that, because like I said, it can be very tricky, well, you can avoid all that drama and let us have updated sides, right? Instead of doing all these tricks that I've shown in my tutorials, you know, all these lengthy procedures, you have to download custom players and this and that. Well, why not just give us the ability to edit these players and build our own teams, right? Community features have been fantastic, by the way. I'm a huge fan of the face cam, or whatever it's called, face scan or something like that, where you can put like an image on top of the player's face and it looks really realistic. And if you do it the proper way, it looks really good. So I'm a huge fan of that. Keep doing that, keep improving that, and also release some tutorials, because a lot of people don't know how to use that, you know, face scan or whatever it's called, feature in the game. Now, another thing I would like to see in the community is for them to basically increase the amount of space that is allotted to some of the things. So there's a certain amount of bats you can have. They have to double that. I think they have to absolutely double that. There's a certain amount of players you can have. I think that's fine. They can increase that too, but I think at the moment it's like 3,000 some players, and that's pretty good amount of players. But they will have to increase the logo space. The logo space is just not good enough. There's way too many logos, like way too many. There's way too many teams, way too many players, all players with different faces, different, well, obviously different faces, different sponsorships, different faces. Imagine they have the same face. Twins be like, hey, hold on a second, we don't have different faces. Even twins have, you know, there's differences in them, but you get the point. There's a lot of logos when you download a team. There's way too many logos to be downloaded, so the logos space have to increase. Absolutely, that has to double or triple, even, I would say, that space. Now, another feature I would like is when you're downloading a team, there should be an option to download just the players, or just the team kits, or just the team stadium. There are different aspects of a single team, right? There's a stadium, there are the players, and then there's the kit. You should have the ability to choose one kit. If that team has 6 different kits, you should have the ability to download all of them, 1 of them, 2 of them, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 6. There should be separate options. So I don't have to download a team with 6 different kits. When I already have 5 of those kits, I just need the 6th kit. So I should have the ability to download only that 6th kit, because another team that I downloaded didn't have the 6th kit, and now this team was uploaded later. So now I just need that 1 extra kit, and guess what? I have to download all 6 kits just to get that 1 kit. So there should be an option to download a single kit, or just the players, or just the kits, or just the stadiums, because it really fills up the data space. It's already very little, like I spoke about. The data space has to increase. But another way to counter the problem of data space is allow people to download certain aspects of players and teams. That will help avoiding, you know, too much logos and reaching the cap for the logos. So that's everything for the community. Let's move on to animations. Now, animations are very important, particularly in sport games, because you're seeing the same, because it's just you're playing games, right? You're playing a match after a match after a match after a match, and if you're seeing the same exact animations every single time, it gets very boring. So animations has to improve. They have to increase those, and I think a good way to do that is exactly what they've done with the community, right? They've done such a splendid job with the community by giving control to the community. They're pretty much free of, they don't even have to worry about any of the licenses, right? We've got India, we've got Pakistan, we've got Bangladesh, we've got Sri Lanka, South Africa, we've got every single team, and Bigant doesn't have to worry about that. Why? Because they built a community in a way, where we can create our own players, our own teams, our own stuff, right? Same thing they can do with the animation. Why not have an animation creator? I know I'm a genius, but have an animation creator. So basically, the way it'll work is, and obviously I'm not a software engineer, so I don't know exactly how it'll work, but the way I sort of have an idea in my mind is, so you could create something from scratch. So you take a player and you can move his arm right up here on the shoulder. You can move this arm, which angle does it come in, and stuff like that. You know, you can like select it and move his arm in a certain way, move this arm, move his head around where the head will be. I'm talking about, let's say, a bowler. You can move his chest around. Is it like this? Is it straight on? You can work with his feet. How long is his run up? They should absolutely remove the same run up for every single bowler. So how do they run? Do they rotate their chest a lot? Do they do this movement a lot? Is it a lot more straighter? Are they taking like big strides with their hands? Is it a short one? Are they keeping their hands down next to their thighs? Are they, you know, doing this thing? Are their hands closed like this? Are they bowling? Are they holding the ball like this one, running in? These are all different options that should be in the animation creator, and you should be able to apply them to every single player. And just like that, you've added what, like 5-6 different animations for each thing, and all of a sudden you have like 120 different bowling actions that you can make in the animation creator. So again, a smart way of doing it. It's the same thing as the team thing that I talked about, where downloading each aspect of a single team rather than downloading the entire team saves you data space. The same way you create like maybe 20-30 animation moves, right, with the bowling and all that, but you can combine them in different and make different combinations of them in the animation. Bigant does not have to do that. We, the community, will do that. And all of a sudden, you have like 100 different balling actions that you can create. The same thing you can do with batting. All of a sudden, you have like 50 different batting styles, right? Take, let's say, Steve Smith's stance, because Steve Smith is already in the game. So take his stance, take Maxwell's cover drive, or take this batsman's that drive. So you can mix and match each shot, so you have different moves, different animations for each shot. So it's not like style 5, and that style 5 is then done a pre-selected preset where every single shot is a certain way, and that's it. So if you apply style 5 to me and another player, will be exactly the same. No, you can edit style 5 and mix and match. So you can take a shot from style 1 and add it to style 5, and take another shot from style 5, take it to style 1. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can make combos of that. Those animations are already in the game. You're just mix and matching, and just like that, all of a sudden you have new bowling actions, you have new batting styles, right? So these are smart ways of working around, you know, not having to spend too much money, because I understand Bigant is not a huge developer. Let me know, what do you think about that? I think it's a really smart way of creating an endless possibilities of actions and, you know, animations and stuff like that, and without having to work too hard for it. I think it's a pretty smart idea. Do let me know, what do you think about that? Now, obviously, performance improvement, there's some glitches, the game crashes a lot. I've seen a lot of people's career modes or save data files corrupting. My own career mode file corrupted. I had to delete it. You guys are asking me to play career mode. I keep telling you the career mode is gone. I can't play it. That file is gone. It's corrupted. So all these stuff like that, that's just performance improvement. Hopefully I don't have to tell them that. They will do that on their own. Things like smarter AI. So if you're playing a lot of shots on the offside, they should be changing the field, putting fielders on the offside. They don't really do that as much at the moment. They do it sometimes, but not always. So that should improve. If I'm being super aggressive, the fielders should be on the rope. Right now, I literally will hit like 6 sixes in a row and a 1 over, and everyone will still be in the circle. It'll be a T20 game and everyone's going to be in the circle. Not even one player's outside. It's like a test field set, like with 5 slips, and you're like, what is going on here? So smarter AI, smart choices like that. The batting, sometimes you'll see like 4 runs required in 1 delivery, and the guy will just offer a leave. Like he won't even try to hit the ball, and you're like, well, what did you just do, bro? Like at least attempt a shot, right? So stuff like that, obviously that's just obvious, so I'm not putting too much stress on that one, because I'm sure they're going to be working on that anyways. Fielding's abysmal, too many dropped catches. If the ball is on the boundary rope, it's almost impossible for them to save the boundary. It's pretty much always going to be a boundary. Even when they try to get their hand to it, their foot is over the line or something like that. If there's a catch on the boundary rope, they take the catch and then they go backwards into the rope and it's a 6 all of a sudden. So stuff like that, you know, should be improved as well. Speaking of animations, there should be a way to sledge a bowler or a batsman if you hit a 6 on him, or if you hit a batsman, you know, in the body, or ball a bouncer or a really good delivery. You should be able to like stare him down, or, you know, exchange a couple of words, stuff like that. It should be like a button for a sledge. If you bowl like a really good delivery, it should pop up, you know, like press X to sledge the batsman or whatever, something like that. You know, just little animations like that. I think that'll help a lot. Not a lot of people care about commentary. I personally do not care about commentary all that much. I pretty much turn off commentary the first day I get the game, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But yeah, I mean, if they can improve the commentary, why not? It's just another aspect of the game. It makes the game all that much more fun. And if they have improved commentary, then I won't turn it off. The reason why I turn it off is because the commentary is crap, let's be honest. Now, one more thing. Now, this is sort of a long shot, but there's something that I actually was thinking about this for FIFA, and I would love to see that in cricket games as well, since in cricket games it's a lot bigger of an issue than it is in football games. It's the umpiring, the referees. If there's a become a referee or a career mode for umpiring, or not a career mode, but basically, so you know how when you play a game, you have 2 choices. You can pick this side, or if you're playing multiplayer, you can pick both sides. So one person picks this side, another picks that side. Or if you have 4 players, then 2 people can go on this side, 2 people can go on that side, right? I think there should be a third option where one player can select to be the umpire and officiate the game. And that way, some of the glitches that happens in umpiring, the poor decisions that are given, you can avoid that. You can have a real umpire, and he'll try to do his best to give out or not out, or you know what, if you're amongst friends, you can try to have a bit of fun there too, you know, give everything out even though it's clearly not out, or give nothing out even though they're clearly out, you know, fun stuff like that. But that's a long shot. I don't think they're gonna do that, but if they can add that be an umpire mode, I think that'll be really fun, specifically with multiplayers, you know, because you could have a bit of banter with friends. But yeah, I would love to see that mode as well. But yeah, those are pretty much all the things that I would like to see changed in Cricket 19 and, you know, implemented in Cricket 21 or 22. First off, let me know, when do you think it's going to be Cricket 21 or 22? I think 21 simply based on the fact that Ash is going to come out at all. And also, do you think there's going to be another cricket game at all? Because like I said, a French company acquired Bigant, so are the French even interested in cricket? I don't know. We don't know any detail at all about what's going to happen in the future. Bigant hasn't said anything, and neither has the new company that acquired him. So time will tell what will happen there. But yeah, let me know what are some of the things that you agree with, what are some of the things that you would like to add in addition to what I've said already. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, do drop a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Do check out my other channels as well. Links to them will be in the description down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a nice